Hi, everyone, and welcome to the new Retirement Rules Understanding the SCARE Act 2.0. I'm Jim Lorenzen, and we're going to be discussing this today. This is the third video in our series. We've done two already. This is the third, and it's about the SCARE Act, setting every community up for retirement enhancement. They love that stuff in Washington. It passed. The original SCARE Act passed, making it an important piece of legislation because there's a number of changes in there. The original SCARE Act was back in 2019. That was when that one was passed. There's about 100 provisions of it, and it's pretty widespread. It has a lot of implications for a lot of people. So let's talk about a little bit of it. The impact is going to be far-reaching because it's going to affect the silent generation of the baby boomers who are thinking about their estate plans. Boomers and Gen Xers who are focused on retirement. Millennials, Gen Zers, they're the recipients of the great wealth transfer in the coming decades. As we all know, though, taxes are complicated, and they impact your savings, your investments, your retirement plans, your Social Security, and how much money you get out of your RMDs affects your Medicare premiums. It's pretty all complicated, and it's all interrelated. Now, generally, the new rules in 2.0 are savings friendly. That means it benefits you and your family's saving. But it's not going to be too friendly towards your kids and grandkids who are going to be inheriting the money down the road. So this program is really about you helping to understand all the changes there. And by the way, I don't do taxes. I'm not a CPA, but I am a certified financial planner, and I am a registered investment advisor. I'm an accredited fiduciary, and it's all about basically making sure you understand that you get tax advice from tax people and you get strategy advice from strategy people, but you want to make sure you're coordinating all the right people. Like I said, we've done two videos already, 1 and 2. There are 4 keys to the SCARE Act. We've done 1 and 2. This is going to be about number 3, and then number 4 we'll get into the thing I talked about earlier about how your kids may not be as well off as you will be under this act. But today's number 3, the SCARE Act provides new ways for you to use your money, and they involve charitable donations, maximizing college savings accounts, 529 plans in new and interesting ways. And there are new reasons now to take money from your retirement account if you need to without having to pay early withdrawal fees. Let's first talk about charity. Qualified charitable distributions, QCDs in the lingo. QCDs were introduced in 2006 to help people who were 70 and a half and older satisfy their RMD requirements, their required minimum distributions, and by helping them let them do that by making charitable donations. So they could give money to a qualified charity, and it comes off their RMD, and they don't have to pay taxes. That's pretty neat. So, effective in 2024, the new law maintains that the maximum transfer is $100,000, but it will be adjusted for inflation each year. Now remember, it has to be a qualified charitable donation because there are some organizations like private foundations, for example, that are not eligible under this law. But that's the basic change on that. Okay, education. New rule allows you to use money originally set aside for your kids' or grandkids' education. Investors who have a 529 savings plan can now withdraw up to $10,000 to repay student loans. The monies can be used for apprenticeship programs, provided they're registered with the Department of Labor. That's another thing they can do with it. Because some kids, let's face it, maybe they don't want to go to college, but they want to prepare themselves for the workplace. Now they can use 529 plans their families have already funded. And in case you didn't know, or maybe you've forgotten, a $10,000 a year withdrawal to cover private K through 12 education has also broadened the use of 529s, and that was back in 2017. Do you anticipate that you're going to have money left over in a child's 529 plan? Well, the new rule could make it easier for your children to save for college and jumpstart retirement savings at the same time. Here are the details. Excess funds in a 529 plan can be rolled over directly into a Roth IRA for your child, the beneficiary. But the beneficiary must have earned income. And as with other rollovers, you're not taxed on the transfer of the money until you so you have tax deferral until it's withdrawn. And beginning in 2024, you can roll over up to $35,000, that's total lifetime, from a 529 to a child's Roth IRA. The annual transfers are subject to Roth IRA contribution limits, though, which is currently $7,000. So, another benefit, though, is there are no income limits for participants. That means high age earners. If you're single, $146,000 up. For a married couple, it's $230,000 up. So high wage earners usually make too much money to contribute to a Roth, but they can now be eligible to do so for their kids and grandkids with leftover 529 money. There are some strings attached, aren't there always? The 529 plan must have been in place for 15 years before it is eligible for a rollover to a Roth IRA. 15 years. And the money added during the past 5 years cannot be used. By the way, if you max out the 529 transfer for the year at $7,000, the beneficiary or grandchild can't add funds from other sources. You're capped at the annual limit for Roth IRAs. Now, the bottom line is you have some flexibility when it comes to 529 plans. And of course, everyone's situation is, as we always say, different. Okay, penalty-free withdrawals. Several new items have been added to the list. If you can take penalty-free withdrawals before age 59 and a half, and paying for long-term care insurance is now one of them. And that's a good benefit because a lot of people, we're getting older. People are getting older. Unplanned critical illness, health crisis can be catastrophic. Medicare does not cover a lot, and it doesn't cover Alzheimer's, for example. Long-term care is pretty expensive because the average cost of a private room in a nursing facility now can be $100,000 or more, depending on where you live. So, a lot of people do forego long-term care insurance because they think it's too expensive. But guess what? The cost of care is expensive too. But they're worried that they may not be able to use it or need to use it, and they will have lost the money. But there are other strategies to address that. You need to talk to a good financial advisor. Gee, I wonder where we can find one. Okay. Penalty-free IRA withdrawals for parents of new children. Up to $5,000 per parent per child. Do the math. If you have 5 kids and 2 parents. To meet the requirements, the individual, though, must take the distribution from the account within 1 year of either the date of birth or the date on which the adoption of the individual under 18 and a half or 18 is finalized. Even though there's no penalty, the withdrawal is still ordinary income and therefore it's going to be taxable, so it's important to understand that. Other circumstances for penalty-free withdrawals: someone who's terminally ill, victims of domestic abuse, public safety workers, now includes firefighters and others. And there has also been a provision made for expenses coming from a federally declared national disaster. And it's retroactive to disasters occurring in 2021 and later, and allows for a maximum distribution of $22,000, which may be taken and repaid over a 3-year period. Okay. That's about it. What else do we need to talk about? Well, we've covered a lot in this, and this was number 3 of our series. Number 4 is going to be coming up. And if you're having trouble following all of this, don't worry. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to know medicine to go to a doctor. You don't need to know taxes to go to a CPA. And you don't need to know all of this to use a financial advisor. But if it triggers some ideas or questions, that's what it's all about. The purpose of this is that you don't have to be an expert. You just need to know some of the issues that might be of importance to discuss with your advisor. So, if you're thinking about the next generation and estate planning and all of that and how much money is going to go to your kids and what's going to happen with them, you probably want to get started. You might want to have a retirement review because everyone's different and it's important to engage your tax advisor and all that. If you'd like some help, the first step is a simple one. I'm not a lawyer, as I said, I'm not a CPA, But I am a certified financial planner. I'm a registered investment advisor, and I've been in practice since 1991. If you do the math, that's over 30 years, and retirement is all I do. And being an independent certified financial planner and an independent advisor, I am not married to any of the companies out there. So I think that's important for objectivity and all that. My clients do appreciate that. So anyway, that's a little bit about my background on the screen. As you can see, I've been around quite a while. I've done quite a few things. I've seen all the things that can go wrong as well as what can go right. Here's my information. If you'd like to get some help, the place to get started is on, guess what? The Getting Started page on the website. And there it is on the right there. You can see Getting Started page at indefin.com. And infin.com, that's where we get started. That's where the protocol is. And I hope I can be of help to you. And feel free to reach out. But that's the place to go. Enjoyed it. I hope this has been helpful for you. Take care.